their policies of open borders, defund the police. Think of this. Destroy the Second Amendment. No energy independence. No voter ID. High taxes. Rampant crime throughout our cities like nobody's ever seen before. There are far more of us than there are of them.
During a recent rally, a Donald Trump rally, he made it clear that he's actually pretty much in favor of cancel culture. He specifically wants to cancel companies that don't go along with conservative ideology. Let's watch.
We need nationwide boycotts of companies that don't believe in Republicans and conservative principles. We're not going to buy their product if they're not going to buy our policy, if they're not going to respect us. We're not going to do it. Watch how quickly these companies will change if we do this, and we're going to boycott the media that doesn't treat us fairly.
And so what is he specifically referring to when he talks about conservative ideology and corporations that don't go along with it? Well, he outlines that in the next clip.
You should save America's suburbs from Biden's CRT-inspired housing agenda. You should force the Interior Department to build the National Garden of American Heroes that I announced in my speech at Mount Rushmore. You should stop all federal taxpayer dollars from going to big tech monopolies. I congratulate Kevin on his announcement that the House GOP will be introducing a Parents' Bill of Rights. That's so beautiful. The sound of that is so beautiful. And I hope it includes a right for any parent to opt out of the indoctrination and send their child to the public, private, charter, or faith-based school of their choice. These are the kind of bold ideas House Republicans should run on and win on.
Okay, so he's striking out against all these companies, and he says if they don't follow our principles, we should cancel them, right? If it's, for example, a credit card company, I guess that would be the most literal cancel culture because you'd cancel your credit card. Okay, so that's pretty on the nose there when it comes to cancel culture.
What is CRT-inspired housing policy?
No, that's my favorite part. I mean, look, the essence of it is him trying to do these boycotts. And we'll get back to that in a second. But that hilarious side note, it just almost swallows up the whole video.
I couldn't pay attention to anything else after he said that. I was like, what?
Critical race theory housing agenda? What? But like,
let's just apply critical race theory to everything we don't like.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, these critical race blueberries are not as ripe as advertised, okay? And I'm really mad about it.
Cancel them.
Okay, and how about this critical race theory Cocoa Pebbles? They're not as crispy as I wanted, okay? What is he talking about?
We want vanilla pebbles, okay?
Baby, that makes more sense than the critical race theory housing agenda.
100%.
One is an educational, a theory about how to teach racism in the country. The other one is housing. Like if you want to talk about like racism in housing, I don't know, I guess he means racism against white people in housing. That's not even a talking point that the right wing has. But even then you wouldn't say it's a critical race theory about housing discrimination. It makes no sense. It's not even trying to make sense. Okay, so.
But the best part is, well, there's two things. Here's a serious point. It's just a continuation of, and I think it's actually working to some extent, right? It's a continuation of the right wing wanting to get a little bit of that populist action because they know Americans are so fed up with corporate America. So it's like, how can we hold corporate America accountable, but without attacking them for the things that we not only love, but have championed, right? So corporate takeover of this country, price gouging, redistribution of wealth from the bottom to the very top. They love it, they can't get enough of it, they wanna protect that. But they want to appear to be holding corporate America accountable. So they're like, corporate America, too woke. We are going to cancel them because they are woke. But also, I don't even really know what they're specifically referring to. Like, did Pepsi come out with something recently that was like too woke? Corporate America right now is too distracted with defeating Biden's Build Back Better agenda that was supposed to provide social spending to Americans to better their lives. Corporate America ain't focusing on the cultural stuff right now. They're focusing on ensuring they paid nothing in taxes. That's their priority.
Yeah, look, a lot of this started with Nike, and they're like, when they use Colin Kaepernick in an ad, they're like, oh, they're not racist against Kaepernick. Oh, we hate Nike now. Why aren't you racist like us?
We're gonna burn our shoes.
Okay, that's it. We're canceling you for not being racist enough. Now, corporations used to be our friends, and they used to discriminate against people. Now they want to sell to everyone and make more money? That doesn't make sense. Okay, now look, guys, two really important notes of hypocrisy here, though. Number one, they say, oh my God, we're all in favor of freedom of speech. Remember, Donald Trump was the president of the United States of America, the head of the federal government, big government. And he's saying if corporations say something we don't like, they should be punished. Now, that would be the biggest violation of freedom of speech pretty much ever, especially if he was still president. And he used to say things like that when he was president, right? And now he's threatening to run again. And he's like, if I get back in charge, we'll kill freedom of speech. And if anyone disagrees with us, we'll cancel them, okay? Now, the second hypocrisy. You're against corporate America. You lowered their taxes from 35% to 21%. You gave them a historic tax cut. That means the rest of us have to pay more in taxes and fines and fees and all the different ways that the government charges us when we can barely afford it. Those corporations are now multi-trillion-dollar companies. They make incredible billions of dollars in profits, and Trump didn't punish them. He gave them literally the biggest gift in American history. Now he has the temerity to come out and say, I'm against corporate America. Wink. And meanwhile, they're still donating to him like there's nobody's business because they know he's their best friend. So this is why right wingers, when we tell you that Trump's a liar, it's not just like, oh, he's a bad guy and we want you to not like him. He's lying to you, He's taking your frustration with big business that's crushing you. You're right to be frustrated, and he's using it to help big business.
Absolutely. And look, I'm gonna speak my mind. Some people might not like it, but it is what it is. Look, whether you're on the left or the right, please stop with the goofy boycotts, because they don't work, okay? They never work, they never will work. Remember the Goya boycott?
No.
What happened? Yeah, exactly, yeah. But what happened to the Goya? Like, you guys, organize labor, fight back in a way that has been proven to work in this nation's history, okay? Individual actions like a boycott, it's never gonna work, it's super goofy. There needs to be an actual movement behind it. An organized movement behind it.
I think it totally depends, but that's a discussion for another day. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.